Welcome back to more Calamity Canyon post-game map-making chat with the creator, renderXR.
Heyo.
Hello once again. And we're right at the entrance of the Palace of Ordeal. And I noticed something for the first time just now while we were getting set up that I hadn't really noticed before, which is there's like a canyon island over here.
Yes, there are actually lots of small little pillars around. Small little pillars.
They're very small.
Very small.
I would have thought
Is
there
it-
was going to be like a chest over here, but now I don't see one. Is there anything on any of them?
Nope. This is so far in the map that
Okay.
it's like at the end, so I don't really expect people.
Right.
It's kind of an understatement of the century, but because I mean, it's like all these interesting things out here.
Right.
But I guess with the thing you find inside, you can explore around here.
Right. It's also the case that there's multiple layers of clouds, and then it looks like there's lava on the top. Are there going to be like barrier blocks below the lava, or could the gas actually explode the lava in the ceiling and make a mess of everything?
I think I put like right below the lava. Yeah, there's right below the lava. There's one layer of air and then bedrock. So if a gas fireball hits, it doesn't update the lava. If that
I
one
see, because it
layer
hits it
between
goes
there-
through the lava and hits the bedrock and doesn't actually update any
Yes.
blocks. Got it.
Because if it goes, if that air space wasn't in between, then it would update.
Right. Okay. Cool. I've been curious about that, because it did look like a very threatening sky for those who looked up there and noticed that aspect.
That was the idea, like the apocalypse was upon us or something. Like a really
And
apocalyptic sky.
I'm going to go ahead and start breaking these gas spawners so that we don't have a million of them flying around the whole time. And I didn't really look. Was there anything under the bridge? Doesn't look like there's anything.
It's just there, if it blows up, you can fall in lava.
Right.
And this is also kind of a small tutorial page where
How so?
there's also kind of a small tutorial where for if you didn't really notice it that well, that the gas spawner range is kind of increased again.
Got it. Okay.
And then if we continue on and we go into the entrance, with its nice particulars gate kind of thing, then you kind of get in this lit room a Magma Rider tutorial.
Yep. And is this the same mob basically that Moldy used in Sea of Cinders?
Yeah, basically yes. That was actually a funny thing about that. I think I was working on this map and he was working on his Sea of Cinders.
Uh-huh.
And there was actually a funny thing that I think I mentioned it to him and he was like, oh, that's a fun idea. And he mentioned something to me. We kind of traded ideas and made both maps more evil in that way.
I see. In this case, yeah, the magma cube that the Magma Rider is riding is just a medium-sized one. It's not a large one or a gigantic one. And so...
yeah, it's one in between, actually.
oh,
it's,
right, because they usually do like 1, 2, 4, and so this is like level 3 or something?
This is free.
Or 0, 1... Yeah, I don't know.
And I really
and
like
this is
these
2.
enemies. I really like these enemies because they have their own... They have their own kind of unique gameplay aspects. I need health. Effect.
You're in trouble.
Instant health. Don't hit me.
Careful that the instant health might... Okay, you're not throwing potions. It's going to say might hit the skeleton.
So they have a punch bow. At least the skeleton has a punch bow.
Okay.
And the magma cube jumps towards you, so it's already kind of different behavior in terms of... Oh, hey, where did you come from?
Yeah.
So he already has different... Oh, he got hit. He already has different movement behavior than a normal skeleton, which is unique.
Right.
And then, as you just saw as well, I don't know if you did notice it, but the skeleton can actually hit the magma cube.
And then they fight each other.
And no, he will just shoot forward. And the magma cube actually doesn't get aggroed at you.
Oh, interesting. So he ends up
So
punching forward his own magma cube.
yeah,
Okay.
and it makes basically this super jump. And as you see, the skeleton itself actually has no movement speed. So when you kill the really
Oh, it becomes a
mobile
turret.
counterpart, it becomes this turret that is shooting at you, and he has increased viewing range as well.
I see. I did not
So it's
realize
really,
that.
so it's a really dynamic mob. And
Interesting.
also the he has like the name is actually visible from the start. Like
Right.
this is the first one, and you will see the name
Right.
like always above him instead of only when you look at him.
Hmm.
So you actually see his name quite early on. Like I won't do that for all the others, but for the first one, so you
Right.
can actually see the name.
Hmm. That's also a nice way just to kind of call out the fact that it's like something unique is going to be on this mob by giving him a name that's always visible.
Hmm.
I never actually looked. I didn't think that there were any spawners in this room other than that one, but these pillars
No,
seem like the type of place that there might be.
this is kind of a tutorial area again.
Okay.
This is also that one copy paste room that I was talking about way earlier. That room that's constantly reused, like the dome one.
Oh, right, back from dungeon number 4. No.
Uh, oh no, the
Uh,
one with the crystals. The one with the crystal. That one is reused as well.
okay.
You know, the first crystal where you enter Dragon Exile. This is basically the same room. But copy
Okay.
pasted. And at the end of this dungeon, right before you go down the big spiral staircase,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same room as well, but without the actual balcony on here on top.
I see. I guess when we get there, we'll see it again.
Mhm.
And while I'm up here, I'm just going to break a couple of
Gas
spawners, just to have fewer things making noise.
Mhm.
And yeah, actually, as we go through, yeah, let's, I'm going to put it on peaceful and then switch it back to normal. But just to kill off all the gas so they're not just accumulating.
Oh, yeah, they will eventually accumulate.
Alright, so yeah, you come into this hallway, you got an evoker, and you've got magma cube spawners that are just right around the corners, so once you locate them, you can kind of like hide through the corner and break the magma cube spawners that way if you want, in order to kind of get rid of those guys without too much trouble.
Mhm.
Are you gonna do something that toggles the difficulty every so often, or?
Oh, I guess that's too low. Yes.
Ah, just kill all the gas. I heard it.
Okay, that's actually really funny because you hear it in the background.
Wah!
No, render! Okay, let's do it like this.
Alright,
Okay, now you shouldn't hear them. Sweet silence.
very nice. So there's 2 ways to go. Let's go left since it ends up being the dead end.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not notice that there's actually the ledge up here. I guess you don't end up spawning the skeletons at this range.
Yeah, this is so you have that's basically two. You have like floor 1 and floor 2, and floor 2 continuously kind of harps back on floor 1
Right.
and basically gives you these balconies or lookovers. And I think it also makes the dungeon like more interesting. Instead of just floor after floor, you can actually see the
Yeah,
stuff on
I did
top.
like seeing it, and I like the shortcuts that were in it or whatever, just to like help me get a feel for as you're making progress, so you can kind of like see places you've been.
Mm-hmm.
Paintings on the walls, maybe to just kind of distract the players so that they get tired of punching them down, so in the future when there actually are things hidden behind the paintings.
Yep, that's like a false positive,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, just trying to inoculate the player.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bridge over here, and then there's like a broken bridge over here, but you could also just break through the wall and find that there's going to be more skeletons over here. And I think, was there some loot here? Maybe I'm misremembering. I guess there isn't.
At the end of this room, there is.
Okay. And yeah, skeletons who can shoot you into lava. Have to build your own bridge. More magma riders.
Mm-hmm. More skeletons.
Electrified creepers, because hey, we're in the Palace of Ordeal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just all these things above lava is like extra fun time.
And yeah, lots of books.
Protection free.
Okay, there's another protection 3 in there. I must have gotten that, but I don't actually remember getting that one either, so there you go. That's a very nice
Yeah,
book.
it's kind of late in the game. But
Yeah,
although this area is very big, it's still useful, of course, because it's such a big area.
it is a very big
And it's
area, and
and
I
that's
did go
why
back
there's
multiple times.
and that's why there are 2 wolves here, because it kind of felt too big for only 1 bull,
Mm-hmm.
especially with all the previous areas being kind of smaller. So second bull kind of didn't hurt, and it would kind of be refreshing of halfway through you get a wool and then you feel invigorated to get more because you made some progress, you got a goal reached.
If you're a normal player, you might do that. If you're Brian, you would get right up to the first wool and then stop and turn around and not notice that's the wool box if you just went 5 inches more, and then find it 4 episodes later. So up here, use the invisible signs trick. And I just saw it for a minute.
You know about this?
So Preox, in his most recent thing, the sign became visible. I'm not sure how. But I guess is it's 2 signs that are stacked against it. How are they invisible? Like how does this work? Is it like vertical signs or?
This is my these are so when you get MC edits, you just rotate a sign around or flip it, and then because every block has a tile data,
Right.
and that gets warped around and gets deleted out of the sign, and so Minecraft apparently makes it invisible because it doesn't have the actual
Got it. The tile data is missing, and so it doesn't display the sign at all. I see.
Yeah.
And then there's a sand block up here. And then when you update the chest, what does the block update do?
The block updates? Well, when you update the chest, it's kind of like gravel, but invisible. So the game notices, hey, this sign is not supposed to be here, and then deletes it.
Got it.
And I can basically make all these invisible things everywhere that will kill you. Like if you touch something.
I presume they have collision, so like if I throw an ender pearl, I'll hit the sign, I imagine. I guess let me grab an ender pearl and try it out.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's made it invisible, more visible.
Maybe that's what happened with Preox. Maybe he threw an ender pearl and hit it or something. Oops, I missed over here.
Oh, okay, so snowballs or... Yeah, snowballs, ender pearls. Snowballs make them visible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I plan to do some really mean things with these.
Well, yeah, until they accidentally fix the bug.
In 1.13 so far, when you look directly at it, they become visible like this. So
interesting.
I need to make sure that you're looking at it like this, so you don't actually...
Right, the thin side or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
So
really hope they don't get fixed.
Yeah, who knows? Interesting. Okay, so you open the chest. The sign. Oops. Interesting.
Yeah,
now they're visible. Oh, now they broke.
I put a because I put this block here.
Oh, got it. It was actually sitting on something. Got it.
Yeah.
And it's just dispensers with blaze spawn eggs, right?
Yep. Could have put like TNT falling down. That would have been actually kind of fun.
That would have been less fun because it would have also blown up the chest that's here.
Okay. I think it's a fun scare where you don't really know about it because you didn't see it coming.
Right. It's a nice little jump scare.
This is something I actually discovered while making Corona. I was just moving around some area names. And then you just sometimes find cute little things like those that are really useful for making evil traps.
Let's see. Come through this hallway, And there's definitely places where there could be gas out here. It could be firing at you through the little windows, and it also just gives you a nice little view onto the crazy obsidian spikes that I guess it's just a bunch of rotated cones.
No, these are made with I think it's World Edits, which is that's a server tool.
Hmm.
And you can make just spikes where, like, if where I'm pointing, that's where the center will be,
Hmm.
and it will be lined up towards you. You can basically say, I want it this wide, I want it this
I
long,
see.
and I want
Okay.
this
So then you could just
material.
fly around and spam them and
Yeah, and I think at some point, like right here, I kind of made them in clusters and then moon point outwards. Like kind of how crystals sometimes form. Like
okay. Yeah, yeah.
here's kind of the central point.
Yep. Interesting. So this room, you've got a witch spawner here. Then you come
The
in
fun room.
here, and we've
The
got
fun room.
skeletons. We have a creeper monster closet with multiple creeper spawners.
Oh man, oh yeah, I really like my creeper spawners.
Yeah, we got another witch
Six.
spawner over here. We've got magma cubes behind both the paintings up here that are up high and hard to reach, especially
In,
with all the other chaos in the room. And
in
there's a
case
skeleton
you didn't
spawner up
notice,
here.
yeah, these skeletons fall down. These magma cubes fall down, and in case you didn't notice, the creepers coming out of the painting, here's a
Right.
second chance to kind of investigate them all. And I made sure, because this room is so big, you could easily head right for the stairs and go up here and go up there, and don't get close enough towards the creep spawners.
Mm-hmm.
So I made sure that with the shortcuts,
Ah,
you
you
would get
would be.
close enough to be.
Got it.
Mhm.
So eventually it's going to be found.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed this room. Yeah, Preox and Travel Dog had a
Oh yeah,
bit of trouble with
they,
it.
they had quite a bit of trouble with this one.
But it was mostly, yeah, once again, with multiplayer or whatever, with the slow approach or whatever, like someone ends up kind of constantly spawning things. I don't even
Mhm.
remember, yeah, if they ended up, I guess maybe he did take a death, but it was mostly just kind of slow going in order to make progress because, yeah, you get a few magma cubes in here, and then the one of the tough things about a magma cube is you kill one, and now there's three more, and you kill those three, and now there's seven more, and
And
so
they
it takes
kind
a
of toss
lot
you,
of hits to kill them.
and they're hard to hit, and they toss you all around. Like magma cubes are really good combination mobs, as I would like to call them. You would put them in combination with skeletons or blazes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're more of the distraction than the main powerhouse. Although
Right. The
the
big
big
ones hit hard.
ones are still hard hitting.
Yeah.
And this room is actually one of the central rooms, or the central room, basically. So that's why I put the
The
shortcut here.
shortcuts through here. Mm-hmm.
And all the shortcuts lead back to this place, so you have an
Right.
easy way back
Right.
towards
Yeah, I
where
like
you
the
need to
shortcuts a
go.
lot. Yeah, so this just went right back into the beginning hallway. And yeah, and then the later shortcut led right back down to here. So that was cool. Yeah, and I think this was just a food chest that was over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I could have probably done. Oh no, I could not. Okay, never mind. Because I was talking about the double floor kind of idea of this first part.
Uh-huh.
Where you kind of see the other rooms. That room over there with the enchanted books. I could have probably made it go over make like a hallway that went over there, and then put the chest over there right near, like a balcony where you see that room.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but there's a room in between actually.
I see. Eventually we'll fly around in spectator mode and see how it all fits together.
Yep.
This is kind of like the normal way to come up to that blaze sign trap chest over here. And this hallway, I think, just had like bunches of skeletons, basically.
Hey. Oh yeah, there's a fire resist potion in here. That was nice of me.
That was very nice of you. Not that fire resist is going to help when you get to this room.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in at least a couple of your maps, you've had a potion dispenser that's killed me.
Oh, did this one kill you?
I think it
I actually
killed
haven't
me.
seen it though.
Oh, okay. I think it killed me here. I might be misremembering.
This is a mean room because this is one of the only spawners that isn't primed. This one. So yeah,
Oh,
and the
so as
magma
you're trying to deal
cubes-
with everything else, all of a sudden the Boker appears?
Yep, and then it gets fun because you have all these dispensers shooting, you have all these magma cubes pushing you around, and then you're trying to not get hit, and then that guy comes around, and then you're kind of too distracted to actually take him out in time, and then he starts to do his claw thing.
And these
You
potions
might
were
die.
mean. There was like poison 3 and instant damage and all kinds of things.
Yeah, poison 2, instant damage.
And I'm just taking a look at the mechanism. I see there's just inside some bedrock a creeper spawner that periodically spawns creepers that fall through a tripwire in order to actually make the dispensers dispense periodically.
And this is where you would get redstone for the redstone block.
Right,
if
so if you
get
didn't
earlier.
have the, yeah. Yep.
But this is probably one of my favorite rooms. Just because the spawn has a set amount of timing. Like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1
Got it.
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
So basically
3
anytime you're
Mississippi.
within 16 blocks of right here,
Yeah,
then every 3 seconds there's going to be another.
and I kind of want to turn this into its own little dungeon, or just its own dungeon concept, where you have this long hallway you can run around, but there are all these alcoves on the side, so you slowly walk forward while you time your running to not get hit.
I see.
And it will be more dodging than actually fighting monsters.
Poor Evoker, he got poisoned.
Oh, he died.
And he got hit by instant damage and died.
Hey. Bleh. Bleh. Bleh.
It is a good noise.
And then to finish it all off, I put skeletons here and the knockback guys to knock you back down.
Ah, I see, yeah.
If you didn't disable it.
Yeah, so another mean room, and appropriately mean since we're in the Palace of Ordeal.
And this is kind of the end of the first section of this area, because you could kind of divide this area in multiple sections.
Right, and it's kind of
And it
linear
is-
up to here, and then it kind of opens up out here.
Yeah, and then it basically spikes up the difficulty right in this room, and then you get here, and then it kind of goes down again, like that. When you have a difficulty curve for a map, it's kind of like peaks and valleys. And this room is kind of like the peak, the first peak, and then it goes down a bit, and then it goes up later again.
All right, and so we had another shortcut that brings us back to the previous shortcut room. And eventually we'll find even another.
In case you didn't like 15 minutes of walking back.
And ladders, very handy.
And then a stack of TNT. I was hoping most, in combination with the flint and steel, most people would clue into like, oh, run and gun, run in and just have fun with TNT and run around and blow everything up. And
Yeah, it's not really my style.
oh,
Congratulations.
yeah, that's a bug. That's what I found out too late. That's actually, I don't know how to fix that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's, if you like the TNT, then it's a player kill, and so you're the one dealing the damage to the mob, and TNT obviously can deal a ton of damage, so...
It was meant to be like a melee hit, where you would use like a sharpness 5 sword with a critical hit.
I see.
Or smite 5.
Everybody gets it with a bow, yeah. So,
You could do a bow, or you could do a strength potion in combination with Bane of
right.
Arthropods, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So yeah, using the TNT isn't really my style, but yeah, I also didn't have a flame bow, but if you had a flame bow, obviously you could use it to trigger some of these TNTs that you've already pre-laid out in some choice spots. And if you were trying to avoid setting off TNT, then obviously you had gas and blazes, which potentially could be setting it off. You put lava behind the gas spawners over here so that as you break them, lava ends up pouring out into this place. So lots of fun stuff too. It was sufficiently not dense that you could take it piece by piece, and so you could have a reasonable time of it, but you could also, if you choose, just like run and gun and go crazy in this area, and it'd be fun.
And also with the low blast resistance, especially on the higher floors, the amount of TNT can create so many holes that it can get hard to traverse, like right here.
Right.
So that's kind of also a trade-off on what approach you choose.
Right. And so I guess this overlooks the original room, and I don't know that I ever kind of fully appreciated that's how that links up. I did this top level, like, is one of the last things I did in the dungeon, I think, after I had one of the wolves. And so I don't know that I ever kind of like came and looked down to realize, oh, that's the beginning. I could just jump back down here.
I didn't see too many people who just laddered their way up here, especially because this is kind of similar to that crystal room.
Yeah, when you're on the bottom, I mean, I guess you can, from the parallax, you can tell that there's some kind of balcony thing up there, but if you...
There isn't light or something, which it's most of the times light gives people, like if I put light right here, then most people would be like, oh hey, there's light over there, let's look at what it is, because the walls here are kind of dark.
Yes, they are. I just had to get rid of my night vision to take a look. Yeah. All right. But yeah, you come out here and you start really having some fun. I think this side ends up... I don't remember which way goes to one wool or the other wool. You pick a direction.
They both go to the same... They end up in the same place eventually. Because it's basically you go...
It just circles around to the back.
Yeah. It circles around to the back. And then they both go up. And then you end up on the upper part that's above here, right?
Right. And then one of them goes out to the wool.
Yeah, and you can go kind of to the back right here. And then the orange wool's right here. And then there's basically a staircase here that goes to the top and also goes down into the final room.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Let's go this way first.
Okay. Zoom.
So the two ways are just based on different mobs. This one is creeper based.
Okay.
And it's very linear and close quarters. And I start to use a lot of creepers with it. Oh, there's no lava. I thought I put lava somewhere.
You put lava underneath a diamond block over here.
There's a room underneath here, so if stuff explodes, you will fall down.
Right. I remember opening up some holes in here and having to be careful or close them off or whatever. But yeah, lots of creepers, occasional witch.
Yeah, and here's kind of the thing of, oh yeah, the spawners are under the pillars, so people will just break them like this, and then there's the lava underneath as well. Oh, or that.
Right.
That's also mean.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the fact I don't think there was a spawner under every pillar, and it wasn't like every other one or something. Like you're also kind of breaking patterns, which is good too. Yeah, make things not be too easy.
People will break them all anyway because there are not that many.
Right.
And then I think this one.
So yeah, there's another blaze spawner trap. I guess if you're looking very carefully, I guess you can see both that there's sand behind it, and I think you can even see the particles coming off of the sand. I guess you can't see the particles because there's a block below it. Oh wow.
This is kind of how, yeah, this is how it triggers. So there's a redstone torch. Wait, is it primed? Nope. Yeah, there's a redstone torch right above here, and that sets it all off.
Got it.
So when you break this block, this one, the redstone torch on top gets turned on for one tick and triggers the TNT.
Got
That's
it.
really all the trick to this.
Very nice, very nice.
This is kind of the same as the
One in Dragon's Exile?
trap. Notice there's one near the orange rule as well, a trap like this.
Right.
I'm putting in it, and because this dungeon is kind of symmetrical, there's the same room on the other side. But if I put it there, it would have been too obvious for the other side. So I put it here instead of over there. If that makes sense.
When we get over there, maybe it'll make more sense.
And then we have a chest, which is matching with the other side as well.
I see. So are they like opposite types of armor on the other side, or okay?
Yeah. We could show that as well when we get over there.